You look so funny. Okay.
I look so funny.
I can't even imagine what I would look like.
You look funny.
This grown man. This is so funny.
Oh.
All right.
Happy birthday, Restore and Renovate. 2 years.
Yes, 2 years. Not
2 years.
2 years.
Like a week ago.
A week ago, but they don't know that.
How are we saying that now? Welcome back. Welcome back to Behind the Build.
Yeah, welcome back to Behind the Build. Here with Nick, and I'm Noah. Or wait, you want to say your name?
Nick. He's Noah.
Behind the Build with Noah and Nick.
Behind the Build with Nick
and Noah. Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking around. If you love what you're seeing, click subscribe, share it with your friends, show your grandmas, your dads, everybody else who's not online.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Leave a comment if there's anything you want to see us talk about. Yeah, we'd love to see those.
Or if you even just like us, just say something. We love talking to people.
Yeah, and affirmation.
And information, yeah. We're big into that. Awesome. We want to be told we do a good job.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, today we're kind of going over the last 2 years of Restore and Renovate Homes. So I guess if you just want to get into it, I mean,
it's so weird because it feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's already been 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember thinking some of those early days, so some of the early days, it was me and Tristan, and my son was part-time, and we were just out there working every day and just trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
And to go to sit there and go, that was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, when I say that, it's like, it feels like that was forever ago.
Yeah.
You know, we've built such a fun, awesome team that it literally just, I think back and I go, wow, like I knew I wanted to get to something like this.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to do it faster than I've been told it could be done.
Yeah. I was going to say, you come a long way in just 2 years.
Yeah.
Is kind of what it feels like. Even when I joined, felt like a company that's very established already. As you know, people say startups, didn't feel like a startup really when I joined. It felt like what is going on and all that. So
that's awesome. I appreciate that because that
absolutely.
says a lot about what we've been doing and what we've been working on. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are some of your proudest moments? Like looking back, on the last 2 years, what are some big moments that either almost helped you take off or helped you get to where you are now?
Mm-hmm.
Some of those things.
Honestly, what you said a second ago is really, that I'll probably look back now and say that this was one of my proudest moments. The fact that you're like, hey, I came on like you came on almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
We had you wwere around when we had our 1 year celebration, 1 year barbecue, but it was in September.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a little over a year.
Yeah.
But you came on and we were just celebrating a year, and for you to say, it felt like an established company, and we're barely a year old.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So
100%.
I don't know. I guess one of my proudest moments is probably it's probably more of a business moment than anything else.
Yeah.
But like recognizing the fact that, and I hope I don't get any hate for this.
Yeah.
Or any kickback for this, but one of my proudest moments, it was December of 2023. I think it was. Yeah. December of 2023 was when I hired our guy, John. Who's John's a rock star. John's a killer.
He's a rock too, dude.
Love him.
Amazing.
But when he came on board and joined the team, that's when I stopped working in the field every day.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped building decks and doing the framing and doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
The actual work that I look at.
Yeah.
And that was December of 2023.
Yeah.
So I haven't lifted a 2x4. I haven't pulled a tape unless I wanted to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Haven't pulled the tape measure, haven't,
Yeah.
done any of that since December of 2024.
Yeah.
And a big reason for that is because of our team.
Yeah.
Because we
100%.
have everybody. Because you're just doing a killer job at organizing everything and keeping the projects moving and going.
Yeah.
And y'all can't see it, but the gal behind the camera,
yeah.
doing everything she's doing for us on social media. Shout out to Laurelyn for that. John and Tristan and Daniel and Ruben being out there every day, just slinging it. I mean, I guess I don't really have a proudest moment.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I feel like this is our family.
Yeah.
This is our work family.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I'm like, I feel like a proud dad.
Yeah. It's like hard to pick one thing. It's like, I'm just proud of it.
Yes.
Or you. Or,
yeah. And so I would say that's probably part of a big part of it, and that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, a lot of this, and I do want to shout out to a former boss of mine, a guy by the name of Dan Bidlin, who runs an exterior remodeling company, Craftsman Home Improvements. So shout out to Craftsman Home Improvements for everything that they do too.
Yeah.
They do a great job exterior, siding, roofing, and windows, and they do a great job. A good team over there too. If it wasn't for him, and a lot of the stuff he poured into me over the last handful of years, it'd be really hard for me to be in the position I'm at today.
Right. Yeah.
Really, I know that kind of a little bit away from our question, but it's just something I really feel in my heart. Like if it wasn't for him,
100%. Yeah.
I don't know that I'd be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be here without quitting because of terrible bosses. So shout out to them because I want to be here. But
we'll keep those unnamed.
Unnamed, absolutely. But it's pretty cool to recognize the people that helped you get to where you are, and I don't know, that's awesome that you're not someone that would do this, but it's not somewhere you get to like this success and you're just like, I got here by myself. Like I know you recognize everything that led to that success as well.
Yeah. So. And on that note too, I also firmly believe that my team is just as important as I am.
Yeah.
There's something I learned a number of years ago from my old boss. Was a big thing that helps a company grow and grow well and be successful is that if I take care of my team, if I take care of my family, my family's going to take care of me. And I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine,
absolutely.
And the golden rule in life, right? Do unto others as you want them to do to you.
Exactly.
And that's just the way that I live, and that's just the way that I believe. And
absolutely.
And it's so true. Because honestly, you and I are sitting here in my office here trying to record a video. And we walked away and made some really good coffee, and we had a great.
That's not an understatement either. This coffee is insane.
Had a great conversation while Laurelyn's here, crushing it and setting everything up for us. So,
absolutely.
And today the guys are out doing the builds and doing the touch-ups and doing the finish work. And so, again, I know I already hit it once, but I can't do this without the awesome team behind me.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yeah, it's been really cool, even with the crew, and just all of us. Like since I've been here, we've had a couple of leadership changes, or and just seeing the crew just be resilient and like be able to kind of go with the flow, roll with the punches of all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's really cool to see them. Even yesterday, working with them, like smiles on their faces, like it's just, I don't know. It's not like a normal job. I feel like that I've been. It's like you said, family.
Yeah.
So
well, cool. And I guess when you think about going to a job, if you're going to spend a majority of your day, of your life doing that, I mean, it should probably be something that makes you better as a person. Or
just happy too. Like I think you've said it before, like if you don't love what you're doing, I don't even really want you to be doing it with me.
Absolutely.
And that's something like every morning I'm like, I still love it, so I'm still here. But I love that aspect of how you look at it.
Well, and then on the flip side of that statement, though, that there are going to be days where you don't
love it.
There are
going to be days,
So how do you?
But dude, there's this difference of the last job I was at, I loved days, but I didn't love the job.
Right.
Whereas here, I love the job, and there might be days that I don't love.
Yeah.
So I think I've told you before, like I'm only 23 and I see this as my career, and I've never thought about that in the last jobs I've had.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's definitely, I don't know, the culture, the, the way you set up this company is just something I can get behind. So
Cool.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, proudest moments. Those are a lot of like really good things that you touched on. What about like looking back, challenges? Like you said, there are the days that, or the challenges that come our way.
Mm-hmm.
What are a couple challenges that have happened, and how have you, or us as a company, how have we gotten better from that?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you already alluded to one of them. Having different changes in
Yeah.
leadership. That was a
Yeah.
big challenge this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're beginning of May.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've already had a couple of transition, shifts.
Yeah.
And that was a challenge. It was a challenge trying to make
Yeah.
sure that the crew was good with the change. It was a
Yeah.
challenge making sure that leadership was in the right place, doing the
Yeah.
right things.
Yep.
Following up.
Yeah.
We brought a good friend of ours
Yeah.
on, Grant.
Yep.
Shout out to Grant
Yep.
Anderson as well.
Yep.
Over at Artisan Church now as a worship pastor. So let's go, Grant.
Awesome position
Love
for
it.
him too.
Love you,
Love
dude.
it.
Appreciate
100%.
you. Brought him on at the beginning of the year, and he had an amazing opportunity to become the worship pastor at the church. And if I'm being real, I had a really difficult situation.
Yeah.
Like, do I keep the guy on and the church doesn't get a worship pastor?
Yeah,
or do I?
It's kind of weird how you're like involved in the church and them coming up to you and being like, "Hey, I want to offer him this job." And it's like, okay,
yeah,
like this awesome foreman that we had. That's now, but
it was a win-win and a
win,
lose-lose.
Yeah, exactly.
It went, but it was so good. But we brought him on, and he was really good with customers. He was really good with the like he had so many different skill sets that could bring on.
Yep.
The guys loved him.
Yeah.
Customers loved him, and then he got an opportunity shortly after that. And the transition from your leadership to the guys, with the guys to his leadership, and then within like 2 months, I think it was a month and a half.
Yeah.
Within a month and a half back to you.
Yeah.
And so leadership transition is always hard, no matter what.
Right.
But to have that much change that fast, that was a big challenge. And
being in the winter too.
Yeah.
Like I know, like up here in Minnesota, like seasonal depression is a thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're going through the hardest times of the year while you're going through a kind of a harder thing. And honestly, like the crew just being able to just still, get things done with a good attitude. And, it's just, like I said earlier, just they're resilient guys, and couldn't say enough good things about them.
And speaking of the guys, I would say the other thing, the other big challenge that I've had to overcome this year, is because of the growth, right? How fast we did grow. What happens with fast growth that I've experienced already is you can easily lose track of the people. Right. You can easily lose track of personalities and who they are and what they need for leadership and what they need for development. And that was a challenge this year. Beginning of this year was recognizing that me personally, I was struggling with staying in touch with, everybody and making sure that they're supported, making sure that they're being led well. And we had a few instances we had to work through, and we've come out of 100%. Them on the top end for sure. And but to have to overcome that, to have to go through that challenge and recognize that it's something I learned this year that I'm really going to hold on to going forward. I don't want to lose, like we've already been saying, I don't want to lose the connection. I don't want to be the dad who's, he's a proud dad until the kids start getting busy, and then he starts getting busy, and then he's gone again. I don't want to be that way. So trying to set up leadership, and that's kind of how I've overcome that, is trying to set up a better system of leadership, right? Utilizing you as a leader, and how do I develop you more so that we can make sure that everybody's supported.
Right.
And
100%.
Because we, like I said before, we're going to spend a ton of our lives doing this. 8 to 10 hours a day 5 days a week, right? We're going to do this a lot.
Yeah.
So to not acknowledge that we all are human beings, and we all, I mean, all but one of the guys is a dad, right? We've got a new dad coming up. We've got a dad with graduates, and I'm looking at being grandpa dad, and Daniel is, he's going to be a new dad, and so everybody except one is going to be a dad, and so there's life. There's life happening. And so how do I support that? How do I support you guys, and how do I support this team? So
I love hearing you say that, because I feel like a lot of
that I'm gonna be a granddad. Yeah, me too.
That too.
I'm super.
Just hearing you say like you care about the crew, even just beyond like a boss caring about how you're doing on the job, but about how you're doing personally in your own life. And what's going on in your life. A lot of bosses are trying to almost separate themselves from the laborers or from the crew, and trying to put things in place so you can't, talk to the boss or like the head owner, whatever. So the fact that you realize I need to get back and actually connect with the crew, and that's just of it.
It's a big heart, a big reason why, and we may have touched on this, throughout our other episodes, but it's a main reason why we're in business. Is I recognize that guys like yourself, and John and Tristan and Daniel and Ruben, all the guys and Laurelyn, that you guys need a way to support yourselves. You need a way to support your family and be able to afford the things you need. I have an opportunity to help give that to you, right? To help give you that opportunity. And again, having a pastoral background, and just being involved in church a lot and being involved in ministries a lot. It's you see the need that people have. You see that people just they have broken hearts, they have broken families, they have struggles trying to raise children or be married, or whatever the case is, and going through hard things in life too, right? Just being able to be there and support these people. I mean, come on, if you can't do that, I'd really question your humanity sometimes. So
100%. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So we touched on proudest moments, struggles. What are some things we're looking back? Let's look forward now.
I love that.
3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, whatever down the line. What are some milestones or some things that I know you write your goals down. You're a big goal person. What are some of the top goals for this company, or even just for yourself or for us? So I'm sure you have those as well. But what are some goals that you have going forward?
How much time do we have? How long do you guys
How
want
many
to watch
episodes do we
for?
have? Seriously. Pick 3 or 4.
Dang it. All right. So a big goal I have for the company, really, by this time next year, I think last year I said by this time next year I wanted to double in size. I'm pretty sure it's what I said. Revenue wise, we're going to be close to that, so that's cool. People wise, I think by this summer we'll be really close to doubling people. People in the company, which is super cool. But where I would love to see the company be at some point, obviously the work we do, I'd love to see the work we do bigger. I'd love to see the scale of jobs bigger. Because what I'd love to see for my people and our team and our family is our jobs are elevated. Right. You told me the other day, it was kind of a cool vision you had, was, the guys that are here right now, at some point, maybe each guy has their own project they're managing,
that we're overlooking,
their own house that they're managing, something like that, right? Like competing even amongst each other.
It's like, hey, who can get this job done faster?
I'm a week ahead of schedule, or that was really cool. I love that. I might steal that vision from you.
That's fine. You can have it. I'll come up with another one.
Good.
Like I get a truck or something.
Oh yeah. No, I did. I that's right. Just yesterday we were talking, and I think it'd be really cool just to have a fleet of vehicles for the guys that work here. Though you guys probably don't know this, or maybe you're guessing, but we're in my office in my home. And I would love to have a separate office space,
Yeah.
right? So now I know these are a lot of business goals,
Yeah.
just kind of company goals.
Yeah.
But the reason I have those goals
Yeah.
is because I read a book a couple years ago, and it was called The Dream Manager.
Oh yeah.
It's a phenomenal book, but it's a true story. And there are companies out there and organizations out there that have a staff member who's called the Dream Manager. That's their title, is the Dream Manager.
Yeah.
And the sole purpose of this person is to get to know you, to sit down over coffee like this, have a conversation with you, and talk about where do you what's your dream, what's your vision, what do you want to see, where do you want to go in life, and that's something that the minute I read that was the minute it planted in my heart that moment, because I want that. I don't know if I want to be it, but I want that.
Yeah. Well, that's why. Is that why when was it? Probably a solid 6 months ago. For our team meetings and our production meetings and stuff, you ask goals for us and like stuff we want. Is that where that came from?
It is. A little bit. Because the whole purpose of this individual would be, okay, that's what you want to do. How do we get you there? How do we get you to a point where
it's not even just business, it's just life.
No, it's life in general. Hey, I want to buy a brand new car. Okay, how do you do that? And help you figure out and put steps in place to do that. Dang, and the bigger part of that dream for me is that I want to be able to help supply that. So if that means a job promotion, right? Because maybe you want a house, you want to provide your family a house. Well, the only way you can do that is by making more money. Well, the only way you can do that is by getting a promotion and a better position and that kind of thing. So it starts to open up this window into people, which is what I've already been talking about. That's why I'm in business. Like literally, because I love our clients out there. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys. You are the reason why we do what we do. One of the main reasons why. But the reason my business exists, I would say the fundamental foundational reason is because I want people to have an opportunity to get the things in life that they not just need, but that they want. And I feel like it's attainable. I'm in my mid 40s. I started a company 2 years ago.
You're in your mid 40s. That's crazy.
And I'm seeing that come to, like, I've been putting the work in, I've been putting the effort in, and I can accomplish it. Why can't you? And the only reason you can't is maybe you just don't know how to get there. So you just need somebody to help give you the steps. Or maybe you lack the motivation because, like you said, you're working a job that you don't really like.
Dang.
I mean, I would say your situation, you came from a pretty bad toxic work environment to this. And I knew you before. And I would say you're a different human being now than you were when you started.
100%.
And a big part of that is because you enjoy what you do.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I don't know if I answered the question though.
I don't know either. What was the question? So that's a couple things that you hope to see. But I mean, it's cool that I don't know, you have goals for the future for the company, and that's awesome. We need goals, like, in order to see where we're going, we need to see where we came from.
Right.
You know what I mean? So looking back and going forward, it doesn't always have to be like about the business, but it, you want it to be, some stuff too. But what about like, you kind of touched on, fleet of trucks or a fleet of vehicles. What about like, what do you see, like, this is going to get kind of wild, but like 20 years down the line, like you're almost at retirement age. What do you hope to look back and see, like, this is what I created, like, as a company?
Yeah, that's really good. It's actually funny because I have thought about this before. I didn't really think I did until now. But I'm hoping 20 years from now, I'm I'm either stepped away already,
Yeah.
from day-to-day work, or
Sales or all all that stuff. Yeah.
A couple things. One is I've developed a team
Yeah.
that can continue the heartbeat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That can continue what the driving factor is right
Yeah.
now behind this business.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've seen before in other companies that get bigger, and,
Yeah.
and the owner moves on, is all of a sudden it becomes a different company.
Yeah.
It's way corporate,
Yeah.
or it's and 20 years from now, if we keep building the way we are, there will be some corporateness too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the heartbeat of the company is still there.
Yeah.
The leadership of the company still believes the same thing, the same foundational beliefs that were there.
Yeah.
And honestly, teams of people that are running this company.
Yeah.
We're providing a huge service to the neighborhoods that we're in.
Yeah.
And I've always said that this little R.
Yeah.
I said it probably about, I don't know, I think I started saying it like 6 months in.
Yeah.
That little that little shoe symbol that kind of makes like a check mark.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can even say it, so I'm just that little check mark thing, right?
You can say Nike.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just didn't know. I didn't want him to get mad at me.
No, you're good. You're good. You're comparing.
I want to be that.
Yeah.
In the remodeling world and in the construction world.
Someone sees this R, they know what that is.
Yeah. I want to see, I would love to see somebody shows up to a client that we've been in the house for, just for a proposal.
Yeah.
And they see our logo, or they see our business card, or the leave behind, and they go, oh,
they were here.
I can't compete.
Now we have to do this the right way.
That's right. That's right. That's what I want. And I want to see the industry change a little bit.
I was literally going to ask, what about the industry?
Yeah. I want to see, and that's the thing. I think we can.
Yeah.
I think, and this is kind of a call to action, I guess, too, for just everybody.
Yeah.
We can make a difference.
Yeah.
Like you can, even though it's something small, right? You hold the door for somebody, you make somebody a cup of coffee, you you do all these little things.
You make someone a second great cup of coffee.
You can do all these things for them and have an impact on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know our first couple episodes, we talked a lot about the industry and just kind of where we feel it's at. But I truly believe we can make a difference.
Yeah.
So 20 years down the road, Restore and Renovate Homes is a notorious brand in the industry.
Yeah.
At least in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah. We did talk about maybe
we'll leave it there.
Jets. To our other job
R
sites.
On the jet.
Yeah.
So that great teams of people.
Yeah.
Phenomenal people in the right positions
100%.
that love what they do, and development, like personal people development.
Yeah.
Is what I would really love. And the last bit of that question.
Yeah. That
we're investing in other companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have a heart for startups. I have a heart for go figure. I have a heart for new up and coming companies, visions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Investing in those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I want to go out and start a coffee shop. Great. How can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of the dream manager thing.
Yeah. Seriously.
What do you want to? You don't want to work here for the rest of your life? Great. What do you want to do? Let's find that. Let's find that out. You want to start a company? You want to compete against me?
Yeah.
I got no problems with that.
That's amazing.
Competition is good for business.
Yeah. There you go.
Especially if I raise the people.
Yes.
Come on.
Dude, that's awesome. 20 years. It's hard to even think like where the world's going to be in 20 years. I hope I can grow a beard in 20 years.
Yeah, me too.
So, dream manager.
That's right. I don't know if dream manager is going to help you there.
Oh, man. That's funny. Well, as we kind of get, towards the end of this episode, what about, so we looked back, we looked forward, we looked way forward.
Yeah.
What about just looking back right now in the last 2 years? What is like your favorite project that we have done? And maybe we can have a little image here of what that was. We'll see. Yeah, this one.
This one.
Yeah.
My favorite project.
Whether it's like the process, because I know sometimes like the processes are like, it's fun with the process, but like, what's your favorite? Like, you look back and you're like, that is one sharp looking. Blank.
Yeah. I gotta say, and it's probably because it's so recent and fresh in my mind.
We're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. But the Davis project.
Yeah.
I knew them before. They were friends of ours before. Guess what?
You still
Still
friends?
friends.
Okay,
We're still friends.
Thank God.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite part about the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, we came in, we flipped their kitchen.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. This whole project is my favorite.
Yeah.
But we didn't do any major revamp of areas or blown out walls and taking,
couple of walls,
bathroom.
Yeah.
The bathroom closet thing we did, master bathroom closet we did. We'll show some video or at least some pictures as you guys can see here. But we did their kitchen, used their existing footprint and just redid what was there, right? Yeah. Refinished the hardwood floors and it turned out amazing. Yeah. And then I don't even think we finished, or we just finished.
Yeah.
We got a final payment from him and he calls me up and he said, "Hey, why don't you come back? We got some bathrooms.
We're doing this now." Yeah. Yeah.
And so we came back and we redid all their bathrooms.
Yeah.
And it was a process, but he was so great. Yeah. He was so fun to work with.
Great homeowner to work with.
Absolutely great homeowner to work with. And he was so open and just loved everything we did. Yeah. And, they're super happy with the whole thing.
I know he said, it's like, as we were wrapping up, he's like, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing. Love that you're here, but you've been here since August. Kind of can't wait to not see you anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've been there for so long, just like with starting one project, finishing, and then starting a whole nother.
Yep.
And these aren't like little projects like a cabinet here to put in or a deck where a deck's done in a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we're in your living area, like redoing the whole thing. So
Yep.
I don't know. I understand where he's coming from with that, but that's, it's hard to have your whole entire home flipped upside down and just,
for that long.
So the fact that, I don't know, that you're still friends is really good.
Yep. And that's, I would say, like I said, today, that's probably my most favorite project and process. Yeah. But I will say I am looking forward to the first whole house remodel.
Yeah.
The whole.
That's another goal.
That is another goal.
To look back. I guess I did say a couple years down the line.
Yeah.
This year, your goal is?
This year, my goal is a house flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to
house.
Purchase a house and flip it.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
And
that will be sweet.
And then in the future, new construction.
Yeah.
I'd love to get into new construction.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're looking to build your own house, from the ground up, you're not just looking to go into already lived in house.
Yep.
What's that? Build your own house.
Yeah.
We're right here. Yeah.
We got you.
Builds. Yeah.
We got you.
So that's awesome. That's sweet. I'm trying to think like what my favorite project was or is since I've been here, not even a year yet. Honestly, how you like I remember the first deck I built when I came on. Yeah. That's probably like, I don't know why it's my favorite, but it's just like my baby. I don't know why. Yeah. I really loved doing that deck. And I think it was like me and Ruben that were just knocked it out.
Yep.
And
the two of you just
I think we got it done in a couple days, like early, so that was really fun.
That was a good first project for you to get it done early.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Had to, make sure you knew that you made a good decision by hiring me. So yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, that's kind of all, kind of think, is there any other thoughts or, 2 years?
2 years, yeah. 2 years down, I will say that 2 years in, and I'm still just as excited as I was when I started. Yeah. And I'll say that was a concern I did have.
Yeah, losing the passion maybe.
Yeah, I was afraid I'd get too into the weeds and lose it. And there was a time that December that I talked about, December 23. There was a moment where I didn't think that this was what I wanted to do. Yeah. But if I'm being honest, it was because I wasn't in the right position I needed to be at. Yeah. Me being a guy doing the building and doing the construction is not what's best for the company. Yeah. And that is something that going forward, I'm continuing to look at and work on is what's best for the company. Yeah. Right. What are the decisions that is best? And I love building. I love construction. Yeah. I love doing that part, but that's not what's best for the team, the family, and this business to continue to grow and move forward. Yeah. So.
No, that's good.
No, 2 years. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning into episode 3. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.